Osun State claims, I've read some reports where it is said that the creation of this new LCD is actually going to reduce the cost of running the government, something that irritates the majority of Nigerians. But how does that work exactly?
What irritates Nigerians?
The high cost of running the government.
Of course. How is that going to happen?
How's that going to happen? Yes.
My sister, I thank you so much. That's a fantastic question. I don't know whether it's right for me to commend you this way, but honestly speaking, I must commend you. You see, we are so concerned about the expensive architecture of government in Nigeria that if I have my way, my recommendation to Nigerians is that we abandon this executive presidential system. It's wasteful. No serious developing nation must look at it, even consider it as its own structure of government. It's expensive, it's cumbersome, it's out of tune with our own nature. How do I mean? You have two separate arms of government, if not three, that are forever competing for their share of whatever is available as resources to the state. Whereas the parliamentary system is one embodied arm of government. As a matter of fact, the executive arm of government is dependent absolutely on the parliament. Without the parliament, there can't be an executive arm. So that will reduce to the barest minimum the cost of government. How? Let's pick what we have proposed to the House here for reference. From within the House, the Council. So what you have at the Council level is the Council. The Council represents the Parliament at that level. The Council will have its own head. We have an assistant. And from within the Council, the head of government at that level will come from within the Council. And there will be a deputy in case of any development. Then there will be other members who will be pure parliamentarians. So they run the government. The supervisors that will be assigned with specific responsibility within the council administration will come from within the House. So you have therefore reduced the cost of maintaining personalities, functionaries of government at that level. So I want to say that if we are interested in ensuring real value and effective utilization of our limited resources as a nation, we should drop the executive presidential system of government and adopt the parliamentary system of government.
Osun State has been able to increase its internally generated revenue from about 300 million to about 1.5 billion in a month. How did you get Osun citizens to start paying income tax?
Well, it's not as if we have expanded the base of our revenue generation, no. And we have not increased equally the rate for taxation. What we have done is to block leakages.
Let's go back to the elections that will be happening this year. You have been quoted as saying that INEC could not be trusted to conduct credible polls in Osun and Ekiti states this year, going by the way they performed in Anambra State. Isn't APC just crying wolf?
Well, really, it won't be right for me to repeat that line. What I think would be honorable and reasonable, in fact, not just honorable and reasonable, is to say that nobody was satisfied with the way INEC conducted an Anambra election. And my reaction at that time was to the shoddy manner that election was conducted. One is looking at INEC to be sure that, and from what we are reading from them, they themselves are now much more committed to ensuring that the bad label that came their way from Anambra will not repeat itself. However, I want to say that had been their tradition anyway. One will expect that they are more serious at it. So
between that time you made that statement and now you have greater confidence in...
I've not said that. Okay. What I'm saying is that after what I must say at the time I said so. And one is studying the statements coming from INEC that it would be not too right of me to still hold on to my position. It would be inappropriate to hold on to my earlier position that they are totally incompetent. What options do I have about who conducts the election? INEC is a creation of the law. And to that extent, whatever is my opinion doesn't really matter. But we must all be conscious of the responsibility we owe to society. If democracy must have meaning, then we demand credibility from the agency that will conduct the election. What must INEC do to ensure credibility such that no matter the outcome of the elections, you'll be happy with it? Simple. INEC must organize itself in such a way that nobody could fault it in its management of the process. How? The register for election must be sacrosanct, must be such that whoever is registered is not denied the right to vote, as we saw in Anambra. Electoral materials are not given to those who cannot manage the material. The results are as announced at the various centers, that nothing will influence the results recorded at the polling unit and change it, and that the people will be free during the period of the election to carry out their franchise, to exercise their franchise. So, from the register to the management of the electoral materials, process and procedure of voting, and the ultimate declaration of the results, there must be such transparency that the most cynical Nigerian, the most skeptical Nigerian will be satisfied that this election is free, fair, and transparent. Let me quickly ask you this as the party leader in Osun State. How is APC going to handle the simmering feud between founding members of the party and the recent high-profile decampees from PDP? Everybody is struggling to find space for themselves. So it's normal for them to hit one another in the course of defining their own territory and space within the political party and the territory that they are in. With time, let me put it this way. As the real contest for power gets closer, the simmering parties, the simmering conflicting parties and issues will condense and there will be settlement. On a personal note, how does one maintain one's faith for almost 4 years while waiting to retrieve something that you believed originally belonged to you, something like a stolen mandate? Well, tough experience, almost impossible to keep faith alive for 3.5 years, really. Oh, difficult, my sister, very, very difficult. 42 months. We survived by the grace of God. I must not fail to first of all say that. The overwhelming support from the people, because the people here particularly remained solid in their expression of support. Throughout that entire length of time, the people were so unshakable in their resolve to stand by us. And the overwhelming solidarity of the people of Lagos and Nigeria.
Mr. Governor, thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
And I thank you for watching. Please join us again next week when View from the Top returns. Between now and then, let's continue the conversation online at channelstv.com. Thank you again, and do have a good day.